In this module, we will discuss how to create soap recipes. Before we create soap recipes, we must understand a few small points, like shelf life of soaps. The shelf life of your soap depends on the shelf life of the oils used in the recipe. The more percentage of hard oils in your recipe, the more it traces quickly. Butters will trace fast at any percentage. Some fragrance or essential oils can accelerate to seize the batter. So if you are using a new fragrance oil, test it with a small batch and make a note of it. We must also understand the use of lye. Lye, which is also called sodium hydroxide or caustic soda, is highly alkaline. When combined with oils, it reacts with fatty acids to form soap. In the end product, there will be no oil or lye left unless you add more than the required value. Each oil has a unique saponification value, sap value, and requires different lye amount to get saponified to soap. To decide the lye amount, you can use the below online calculator. You must note that lye strongly reacts with metals except stainless steel. So use only stainless steel or heat-proof plastic materials for soap making. The use of water in the soap. Saponification is the reaction between oils and lye. But since lye is water soluble, you need water to dissolve the lye. Water or any other liquid is used only to dissolve the lye. You need to use only distilled water or RO, as the filter or tap water might contain metals, ions, lead, which could react with the lye. It's safe to use RO distilled water for soap making. Recommended percentage of water is 33 to 38% of the oil weight. The use of superfat or lye discount. This term is also called lye discount, means reducing certain percentage of lye than the required quantity. This way the soap is lye-free, and also unsaponified oils add extra conditioning. Superfat is decided in percentage. For example, if you want 5% superfat, then the recipe calculator will reduce 5% of the lye amount. If you want 7%, then 7% of the lye will be reduced from the actual required amount. Recommended is 5 to 8% for a normal soap recipe. Let us now understand how to create a soap recipe. In the first step, we decide on oils to be used. In this case, we have taken coconut oil as 30%, which is lathering hard oil, palm oil as 30%, which is conditioning hard oil, olive oil as 30%, which is moisturizing soft oil, walnut oil as luxury soft oil. Essential oil or fragrance oil we can keep as 3% or fragrance oil we can keep as 6%. Liquid or distilled water we have taken 33%, superfat as 7%. Now we need to calculate the lye amount. To calculate the lye amount, we use a soap calculator. In the soap calculator, we add data. The type of lye, we are using sodium hydroxide. The weight of oils, we are using 400 grams, which is our batch size. Water, we are using 33%. Superfat, we are using 6%. The lye calculator will automatically show the fragrance, which is the amount of fragrance to be used. Next, we enter the oils which we are using. The coconut oil 30%, palm oil 30%, olive oil 30% and walnut oil 10%. On calculation of recipe, the amount of oils to be used in grams is automatically created. Once we calculate the recipe, we also get the lye value, which is automatically calculated at 57.02 grams. We print our recipe and then use this recipe to make our soaps. Let us take another example of soap recipe. This soap recipe, our total batch size is 400 grams. We are using lye as sodium hydroxide. We are using water as 35%, superfat as 6%. Fragrance is automatically calculated as 31 grams. We are using coconut oil 25%, palm oil 25%, mango seed butter 10%, rice bran oil 20%, olive oil 20%. So total we are using 400 grams of oils, which is also our batch size. On calculation of recipe, we find that lye value is 55.90 grams. We print this recipe and use this recipe to make our soaps. Remember to create your recipe beforehand so that when you are making your soaps, you have your recipe in hand. It is a good idea to calculate your soap recipe